Mr. Fallon from Texas.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. We're here today in this hearing because there exists damning and
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, thank you. We're here today in this hearing because there exists damning and overwhelming evidence of massive industrial scale fraud occurring in Minnesota right now, and it's been going on for years. This is a huge story, and while many want to ignore it, deflect from it, or be masters of obfuscation, which we have seen here today, this should be a page one, front and center, above the fold headline for media outlets across the country. But it's not. And I think it's very interesting. ABC, NBC, CBS, you can find 74 stories today run before you even get a hint of this scandal. This should be a headline. And unfortunately, it's a back page fine print. Still, as bad as the network's coverage, albeit, it's ludicrously abysmal, it's better than CNN. This very morning, CNN ran 51 stories on its website, including such riveting breaking news articles such as dogs that are trained to sniff mold, a flock of gay sheep, K-pop's newest release entitled Demon Hunters, inside glimpse of P. Diddy Combs' prison cell, and Chinese robots playing soccer, but nary a mention of the tens of billions of dollars of American taxpayer money that's been stolen from honest folks in America by scumbag thieves. This is the Oversight Committee. We should have one overriding emotion, whether it's Republican or Democrat. We should all be outraged that crooks and thieves and dirtbags are robbing the American people. So I was very curious as to see how the Democrats would play today. Would they expose this fraud and be willing to work with us, or would they go to their playbook of Donald Trump bad? And when we were in Doge, it was Elon Musk and billionaires bad. And they haven't really disappointed. January 6th, as well, has been mentioned, has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. The ranking member's opening comments even bizarrely talked about presidential pardons. And he railed against POTUS. It's nothing to do with the matter at hand. But for the record, Joe Biden issued 250% more pardons and commutations than Donald Trump. In fact, 2,545 more. Again, back to the matter. This money's been stolen systemically by a gang of thieves, while the very people charged with the oversight, namely the Waltz administration, have been complicit. They've looked the other way. And the Democrats didn't disappoint either with ists, isms, and phobes. Quotes like bigotry and hatred, and we're hypocritical witch hunt, and then they were taking a hero, Nick Shirley, trying to make him a villain. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record an article, "It's Not Racist to Notice Somali Fraud."
Without objection, so ordered.
98 defendants that have been charged thus far in this case, and I think it'll end up being hundreds, 85 of them happen to be of Somalian descent. It's just a fact, despite how unfortunate and inconvenient these truths may be to leftists. The Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson thinks that this fraud can equate to maybe $9 billion. The entire federal budget of the country Somalia is $1.2 billion. Medicaid fraud does exist in all 50 states. But uncovering it aggressively clearly is not a blue state priority. If you talk to any expert, I was in the state legislature for 8 years, they will tell you objectively that no matter where it is, about 10 to 20% of all Medicaid spending is fraudulent. In the state of New York, they spent $96 billion. So did they recover in fraud $9.6 billion, $960 million? No, it was a pittance. It was 0.06% was recovered. In the state of Minnesota, $18 billion. It was 0.08% recovered. Representative Robbins and the other reps, thank you for coming. Thank you for your courage. You know you're going to be, smeared, and I'm not going to ask you, raise your hand. We're going to have a conversation, okay? When Ms. Robbins, Representative Robbins, when you first uncovered this tectonic fraud, what was the reaction and actions taken by the Walz administration and your Democratic colleagues? Was it working hand in hand to create synergy and offer full support and help to unmask this fraud? Or did you face significant headwinds and fierce pushback to the point of opposition?
Throughout our hearings, they would either deny or deflect or say, oh, they've handled it, or they're new on the job and they don't know. So those were the answers in the tenor of our hearing. I provided documents to them outlining, as I said, in February, of 72 child care centers I thought they should look at. They haven't done it. I've sent 6 FOIA requests or data requests that have not been responded to. So they have not been good partners in rooting this out.
So block votes in Minnesota in 2016, it was so close that I think Hillary Clinton won the state by about 44,000 votes. But if you have block 50,000 you can rely on in Minneapolis, that's rather helpful to win an election in Minnesota. But you know what, Mr. Chairman? Our Democratic colleagues, whether they be in Minnesota or here on this Oversight Committee, they'll eventually lure. I'll yield back.
Gentleman yields back.